shoulders as they stare each other down. It's not just quiet, it's the complete absence of sound, as if Mother Nature herself is holding her breath for what happens next. The bitterly cold wind scrapes against my cheek and nose until I can't feel them anymore, but I don't dare try to cover my face with my scarf. Any movement would break the almost supernatural stillness surrounding us. Thomas is the first to speak, his voice coming out nasally and tinged with rising fear. "If you'd looped me in earlier, maybe this wouldn't have happened," he whines. He's never been known to take responsibility for his actions, so I'm not surprised at his response. "Maybe this wouldn't have. Jesus, kid, you fucked up." I watch my older brother's face turn from a heated red to a ghostly white. It's finally sinking in that he's in real danger. I have no clue what kind of danger, but the sinking sensation twisting my insides says it's the fatal kind. The men grow quiet, and I try to calm my erratic breathing. When I first heard shouting, I didn't think much of it. The plant isn't in the best part of town, and our apartment, which is only a few blocks away, is even deeper in the slums than this place. People fight all the time, but they usually keep their rage focused on the conflict at hand. I learned early on the safest thing to do was to mind my own business. Then, I recognized my brother's slurred voice and knew he was in trouble. If only he was drinking on the job again. This sounds much more serious. "They're here," Martin whispers harshly. My brother doesn't say anything, but for the first time in my life, I see genuine fear flickering in his green eyes. A few moments later, 3 men dressed in crisp black suits and long trench coats appear. Ice creeps down my spine, filling my veins with a chill down my bones. The dark figures carry an air of strict, ruthless authority. Dread knots my stomach as I watch the men approach Martin and Thomas. "Leo, there you guys are," Martin says, trying to sound jovial. His voice is tinny and hollow, too strained to be believed. "Do you have the missing funds?" one of the foreboding men asks. Martin peers at Thomas, who has a deer-in-the-headlights look on his face. My older brother may be a drunk and a petty criminal, but it's obvious he's never looked true evil in the eyes until now. "I can get it by next." "No." The man clips out, cutting Thomas off. He turns back to Martin, eyeing him up and down. "I thought we were on the same side, Mr. Branson, but perhaps I misjudged you." Martin's gaze dips, and I follow his line of sight to the gleaming metal gun in the man's right hand, resting at his side. For now. "We are on the same side," Martin insists. It was... The portly man with thinning hair scrambles for something to say to save his life. "It was Thomas. Thomas stole the money and thought you wouldn't notice." Thomas glares at Martin, betrayal painted over his features, before he turns his attention to the man with the gun. "I can explain." A gunshot cracks through the inky black sky, followed by a sickening thud. My mouth drops open, and the air drains from my lungs as I watch thick, dark red blood pool around my brother's body. He's looking away from me, but I know the source of the bleeding. A bullet between the eyes. Staring in shock, I can't comprehend what's happened. A life has just ended, cut short by nothing more than the twitch of a trigger finger. I finally drag air into my burning lungs, but the tears won't come. Blinking rapidly, I force my attention on anything but my brother's body. Even though we lived together, we were never particularly close. Thomas was 18 years older than me and moved out before I turned 2. Still, he took me in when I showed up on his doorstep 2 years ago. Our relationship has been rocky ever since, and his drinking...